Hello there and welcome to Star Wars 1000. Star Wars question of the day: should Star Wars travel to new galaxies? Now, spoilers for the future of Star Wars and for like Disney Plus Star Wars shows. If you don't want to hear what I'm about to say, these are just rumors I'm about to talk about. Just click away now. But I'm about to talk about some rumors about the future of Star Wars and the future of Disney Plus Star Wars shows. So you have been warned. I'm going to be talking about some of the spoilers. I guess it could be considered spoilers and rumors that are going around about the Disney Plus Mandoverse Star Wars shows. All right, let's get into the rumors about the Mandoverse shows and what all of these shows are going to be possibly leading up to. And it sounds like starting with the Ahsoka show, we could be exploring new Star Wars galaxies. And I actually really do believe that this rumor has credibility to it, and I really could see that this starting to happen. I'm not saying this is true. I just talking about this because it's an interesting topic about exploring new Star Wars galaxies, and I actually do think that will happen starting in the Ahsoka show. And apparently the Ahsoka show will be leading to whatever happens in that show to the Skeleton Crew, and I'm guessing the Skeleton Crew is going to be a crew that explores new Star Wars galaxies, or it's going to be part of the new Star Wars galaxy. Either way, all these Mandoverse shows are leading up to this big event, and I've talked about in previous videos how I think this big event is going to be some sort of Thrawn Wars and recreation of the Thrawn trilogy, or it could be some sort of Yuuzhan Vong thing, or maybe it could be a mixture of both. I don't know how that would be if it's both, but if they are exploring new galaxies, I could see them somehow involving the Yuuzhan Vong and Thrawn both into the mix. I think that could be a really crazy Mandoverse Star Wars Disney Plus crossover. So I do think it might happen. I'm like 80% sure that they will be exploring new Star Wars galaxies. But is it a good idea? Now, I feel like I've talked about kind of exploring outside of the Star Wars galaxy before in my Star Wars video where I talked about exploring Earth, Star Wars possibly going to Earth one day. And I've said in that video, I do like the idea of eventually Star Wars, the galaxy, once they've explored everything there needs to be explored, branching off and exploring new galaxies and like possibly one day going to Earth. But when I said I'm cool with like seeing new galaxies and all this other stuff, I was saying like way into the future, not now, and definitely not with Skywalker saga characters. I was thinking like in the Star Wars timeline, like years and years after the Skywalker saga, and like 1,000 or 1,000,000 years into the future, I thought maybe then they could one day explore new galaxies and maybe even possibly go into Earth. I kind of pictured it like a Star Trek show or a Star Trek book, or it would be like Star Trek, like exploring and traveling to new galaxies and seeing like different things and how their galaxies operated. So yeah, I did not expect for the Skywalker saga characters to be exploring new galaxies. I kind of don't like that the Skywalker saga characters could be exploring new galaxies, but it just depends how it's all executed, and I'm sure that they have a real purpose for exploring new galaxies, not just it just ran out of ideas from the current galaxy, because the canon galaxy has so much more that could be explored in my opinion. And I definitely feel like there needs to be some more fleshing out in the current Star Wars galaxy that it takes place in, on the canon side of things. My guess is, since this might be starting with the Ahsoka show, that Ahsoka is eventually going to go to the unknown regions or possibly to another galaxy, and that's where Thrawn and Ezra will be, and she will end up finding them. Thrawn will be probably the main antagonist of this crossover Mandoverse thing that they have going on. So he'll bring his army from that galaxy to the main Star Wars universe galaxy. Then from there, that leads to the spin-off, the Skeleton Crew, and I'm sure this maybe like the Skeleton Crew could be exploring this new galaxy, or maybe they're from this new galaxy. Because based off of the rumors, the Skeleton Crew does come from the Ahsoka show. It's going to be a spin-off of that show, and whatever happens in that show will lead into the Skeleton Crew. So yeah, like in my opinion, I prefer them not to be exploring new galaxies as of right now. But if they are, it depends how it's all executed and what the purpose for all of it is and what this is all leading up to. All I know is I'm really excited for this big crossover event just because of Thrawn, possibly getting original trilogy characters, Rebels characters, seeing Ahsoka and Rex, just seeing all those characters together to go up against some sort of conflict. And you also have the Mandalorian and Grogu too. Like all these shows, Boba Fett as well. It's just all this is leading up to this big event, and I'm really curious what this big event will be and how does this big event like affect the rest of the galaxy. So yeah, I do think that they should one day explore new galaxies. I didn't think it would be with the Skywalker saga characters. I would think it'd be characters from the future, years after the Skywalker saga, but it is what it is, and it depends how it's all executed in my opinion. So to wrap up the video, may the Force be with you always.